In 2009, Gregory Graves, producer and director of the non-profit film Godzilla Heritage, began his quest to achieve a childhood dream to create his very own Godzilla film. With the help of friends, computer and graphic artists, special effects artists, and the support of the fans, his dream will soon be realized. Recently, Universe G did a follow-up with Graves and interviewed him on the progress of his film. I was looking at your information and I saw that your Godzilla Heritage film, you were trying to get this or realize this independent film since 2009. Now I see that you have come to a point that we've seen these amazing pictures of a suit that it's unreal. To a whole bunch of people have said it already. It's unreal. Submation is loved by many that are that are Godzilla fans. So, what made you decide that you want to create this independent film and basically do it with your own money, from what I've heard, and others that have helped?
Well, Godzilla has always been a big part of my life, and it's actually, I really do want to make films for a living. It's the goal that I set for myself in my life, and honestly, I don't think without Godzilla I would have ever wanted to make films the way that I do. Godzilla really, just from the moment I saw my first Godzilla film, I just said I want to be able to do stuff like that, and the miniatures and the suits, and I just thought it was fantastic. So really, Godzilla was my inspiration to do what I wanted to do in life, and that's make films. So I've always wanted to make Godzilla films on my own. It's always something I wanted to do in my life, so now I finally have the means to do that.
So from what you're saying, you've been a Godzilla fan since a small child then?
Yeah, I've been a fan since I was about 5 years old. My first movie was Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Back when you were younger, did that spark a fascination with the idea that maybe one day you wanted to do or create something on your own? Like so many fans you see fans out there doing these fun little videos of what they want to see Godzilla do, or they created these kind of little mini series that are real fun at times and entertaining. Was that an idea that you tried to do something when you were younger, since you were interested in film and stuff, filming or creating a film of Godzilla?
Well, it was really the art behind the films. I mean, even as a kid, I was like, look at those buildings and look at those monster suits and these big, huge sets that they built for to have these fights in and everything like that. And that really caught my eye. And I was like, man, I really want to do something like that when I get older. That would be fantastic. And honestly, for a while there, I almost kind of lost it because I grew up a little bit and kind of got out of Godzilla for a while. And then when we finally got like a computer in the house and the internet, I kind of rediscovered Godzilla again. I found all these awesome forums with all these great fans and everything like that, and I kind of got right back into it again. And well, here we are.
Now I see that you actually wrote part. You're involved with the writing of the story itself, and in the story we see somebody related to Raymond Burr's role, Raymond Rose's role in the American version of Godzilla. Always, his character, the intrepid reporter, always was a very attractive kind of role that a lot of people connected with because it brought to life more to the American audience the terror of what Godzilla was, and based on what I'm seeing from the story so far and what's been revealed so far, it seems that this is also going to have also a dark undertone of a moment in life of a family member that actually related to that person from 1954. So I'm sorry. So is this a continuity? Is a continuity to the reality of that Godzilla reality that you're creating?
Yes, we've made our own sort of continuity as far as the series goes. But yes, we've kind of taken the original film and the American version of that, and we've kind of combined them all into one of them. And it is a continuation. Heritage is a continuation of that. And that's not the only film that's taken place as far as Toho is concerned in our continuity. We're doing a project right now that we're going to be posting on our Facebook called the Heritage Files. And what the idea behind that is they're military files that have been collected. It's kind of sort of a history of the world that we've created with Godzilla Heritage. I mean, there's been several different films that have taken place in the continuity, such as Rodan, Mothra. Their timelines and their stories have been altered a little bit, but those films and those monster attacks did take place, so there's quite a intricate pattern woven throughout our history that we've altered a little bit, but fans will see that there are some connections there between more than just the original film. There's a few others as well.
Interesting enough, you started your idea of the project in 2009, and in 2010, director Yoshimi Shibano of the Smog Monster, decided that he wanted to also create a Godzilla film, which became the 2014 reboot. When you heard that was going to happen, was it kind of like a icing on the cake because you're creating your own independent film? And now you're seeing a Godzilla film being done on an American version. Do you think that people have a real high expectation of the film, being that the '98 was, it was a commercial success, but to the true fans, they thought it failed, giving what they expected from an American film should have been for representing Godzilla?
It was interesting to see. It was a year after we first kind of started playing around with the idea, like you were saying. Mr. Bono started working on Godzilla 3D to the Max, I believe.
Yes.
And yeah, that was cool to see. I think he's a very creative director, and even though Smog Monster isn't necessarily one of my favorite films, I think what he did with that film was very different as far as Godzilla films go, and I thought that was refreshing in its own right. As far as the '98 film is concerned, fans won't have to worry too much about anything like that with our movie. I know that was a big disappointment for a lot of people, and it was just a film that went too far and in a different direction than what fans and people all over the world wanted to see. And that's something we're definitely not going to try to replicate in any way. We want to do our own thing with our movie. And now the new Godzilla film's coming out and our project's coming together. It's really wonderful. It's a very exciting time to be doing all of this stuff, and we're all very excited for what we can be doing.
Okay. Now, how did you got a very important person on your team that you brought in, and this man who also is about to appear in Face Off, which is a Sci-Fi Channel reality TV show. How did you guys meet? And I'm sorry, I don't know why for life of me I always forget his name. What's his name? I'm sorry.
Rashad Santiago.
Yeah, Mr. Santiago. And so how did you guys meet? How did he come on board? Because I did see that in his early years, he was also trying to create his own Godzilla film.
Yes. Well, the reason why this movie has kind of taken so long to get going is because when we first envisioned it, we didn't really have the means that we have now to create it. I have for example, Timothy Schufer is writing the screenplay. He's my close friend. Our jobs and our lives weren't as stable as they are now. We didn't really have the monetary means and things like that to really get the project going, so we've been kind of sitting on it for a few years, just developing it. Really, the biggest key to the film's success and the progress that it's making has been the wonderful amount of networking we've been able to do, the wonderful kinds of people we've been able to meet, Rashad being one of them. One of our executive producers, Chris Elkison, you might know him from films such as Godzilla Against the Kaiju Killer and the Black Hole Chronicles. He'll also be making some props and pieces for the film. And he had known Rashad, and he suggested him to Ken and myself right before Rashad actually went to Film Face Off, and we met him, and we had some meetings, and we became friends, and he decided that he wanted to work on our film.
Now, we were talking before about the suitmation has always been a staple of Godzilla movies, and we're seeing that in the 2014 reboot, we already know that a lot of it's going to be CGI. I saw that you have guys that are talented on your team that can actually probably create CGI. So why did you want to stick with the suitmation? Uh, was it to you a valuable connection to these types of films that actually not only created fun films but also created shots and filming techniques that a lot of people don't know about. They pioneered certain things like that and create these shots that are even used today by filmmakers, not only with monster films but in regular drama films and science fiction films. So, do you think that the suitmation to you is more important? I mean, I'm asking, is suitmation more important to you than the CGI idea?
I think CGI. Don't get me wrong, is a very good tool, and I think it can enhance it can enhance the film and just create things that might not be possible with just regular animation. But for me, as a Godzilla fan and as a monster movie fan, a film fan in general, um, I I always will be partial to something that's actually there in the film and not just something that's generated by a computer. I think with movies like Godzilla or Aliens, um, when I was watching these movies as a kid or even today, I think that having something physically there makes brings more gravity into the film and makes you feel the kind of emotions that these films are trying to make you feel. Like with Aliens, it's you want to be horrified and you're going to be scared if there's actually this thing right there in the shot coming at you. Um, I'll always be someone who believes that a film, a monster film, or any type of film that's similar to that, I think the perfect blend in those kinds of situations would be both animation and CGI. We do have, if we wanted to, we could, and we probably will have a little bit of CGI in our film, but for the most part, we want to use animation, we want to use miniatures because we feel that that's more real and it'll bring more weight to the film, and I think that's what the fans want to see. Is fans are more partial to the animation, so that's what we're going to end up sticking with.
Well, from the pictures already that we've seen, the Rashad Santiago has created uh, by hand something unreal. And like I said, many people are saying that it looks just unreal, and some of them were saying that they could imagine the finished Godzilla. So, and now you gave us you threw us another bone, and we see that Anguirus has been recreated also for your film. So people are really excited because you're also connecting Godzilla's second film, that he returns and he has the gigantic battle with Anguirus. So why did you pick Anguirus? Of all the other monsters you could have picked, why did you choose him to be the monster he's going to face in the film?
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say it's a little bit of favoritism on my part. Anguirus is probably my favorite Godzilla monster of all time. But at the same time, he works for the kind of story we're trying to tell. We could have gone with anything. There's a lot of different Godzilla poses to choose from, but for a more grounded and darker Godzilla, we felt that going with something that's a bit more realistic, or should I say, a little bit more grounded as far as monsters go, would work better for the story we're trying to tell. Just like, for example, Destroyer wouldn't work very well in our film, or Space Godzilla or anything like that. So he really just goes well with the sort of film that we're trying to make. And Venus has always been that monster. To me, at least, I enjoy Godzilla Heritage again. And Venus has always been kind of like, just maybe at least in my opinion, potential that's never been quite realized. I mean, he's been in quite a few films. He's a fan favorite, but he's always been kind of like a weaker monster, I guess. Kind of like a punching bag for the other monsters, especially later on in the show series. And in the first film, I mean, you see this brutal, vicious monster that goes toe-to-toe with Godzilla for quite a while before he's defeated. And we kind of want to take Anguirus and bring him up to another level, like make him, for the first time ever, like a very serious threat, something that can match Godzilla toe-to-toe.
Well, based on the design, he looks real nasty. I mean, even his front body, you show that the tail looks like it's going to be a devastating weapon. He did have, certain capabilities that I do agree with you. I think he is underrated. He is an armored creature. I think he should be tougher than what they make him seem to be. Now we understand, the monster choices, but we also see that you're going to be part of the film. You're going to be actually playing one of the lead roles with another actress. Is she a new actress, or is somebody? I can't remember her name on top of my head. But what's her name?
Her name's Gregory Graves. She's a native of Kyoto. She lives in New York City now, and she's an aspiring actress. She's done commercials for Mitsubishi. She works on a lot of independent films down in the city. She's done music videos. And she's an acquaintance of Rashad's, and he suggested her for the role. So she's very talented. We're very happy to have her on the project, and I think she's going to be a wonderful addition to our cast.
Now, we know that the time frame for your film to be released should be sometime in 2015. Is that correct?
We're hoping so, yes.
Now, in terms of pre-production, and at what stage of your production-wise are you at right now? Could we say 45%?
Right now, where we're at is the screenplay is wrapped up. It's kind of more in the revision phase at this point. We just want to make sure we get everything right. And we're working on the suits. We've secured locations for building miniature sets. We're talking right now with some people who can provide us with hopefully some little bit better film equipment than we were going to use originally. So right now we can start shooting fairly soon once the suits are done, but we're kind of just waiting on a few other things to see if we can get a little bit better production value out of the film.
So your goal is to produce an independent film like some have not seen yet in the community.
Yes.
Now, 2009 and now we're in 2013. How hard was it for you to reach this level? Was it worth it, or was it just more of a waiting game for the right time?
It's been worth the wait. I mean, it's been a long road for us. For a while there, we weren't even sure if we were going to be able to make it. There was a lot of stuff going on with Tim. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. We didn't have the people, and we didn't have the means that we do now. And now that this film is finally blossoming and starting to take shape, it was definitely worth the wait, especially when we thought for a while there that, it wasn't going to get made period. Now we have all these wonderful people working on the film, and it's turning out to be far better in quality than I could have ever imagined, honestly. So yes, it was definitely worth the wait to wait until this point.
So once you saw the suit come into life like it was, well, everybody on the team saw, I mean, was that a shift to say, you know what, guys, we got something amazing here. We're gonna create something incredible.
Well, I think the picture you posted of me with the suit with Rashad putting his arm around me on your page quite says it all. It's just, you know, that moment of realization like, wow, this is really going to happen. And it is. It's something else. I tell you, I never thought, you know, for a while there, like I said, I didn't think it was going to happen. And you start to see Rashad's work on this suit and how it's taking shape, and you know, it makes you feel like you can finish this film and you're going to get it done. It's fantastic.
Now, looking at Rashad, you know, Rashad's a very special character. You know, you can tell that he is, and but one thing for sure that we see that I saw from the pictures and the videos that the guy has not only talent but real passion for attention to the details of what he was doing. And you guys went in to build your suit. You went in a very untypical way. You know, most Godzilla suits are latex rubber or a fashion of some type of rubber, and you guys use an orthodox material to make your suit. Could you give us a little bit details of, you know, when did that idea came about and say, you know, we could do something like this with this and save money? Was it to save money so you can create, but at the same time create something at a quality level? Was that the idea of it?
Yes, it was. And Rashad is probably one of the most passionate, talented people I've ever met in my life. The guy can do just about anything. And when we first started talking to him about doing the suits, he said, you know, there's different ways you can do it. Like you said, there's a more complicated way of doing it, a more expensive way. But he told us that, you know, I could make you one of these suits out of basically just upholstery foam, and I can give you the same sort of quality level look that you're looking for. And we said, all right, let's see what we can do, and he hasn't disappointed us. I mean, the suit will be mostly foam, but you'll get that more traditional sort of texture on the outside once it's done, because it will be coated in latex, so you will still get something along those lines as far as the effect is concerned.
No, and that's something definitely that I noticed when I was looking at it. You know, initially when he started and I saw the coverings, I was thinking that's probably is latex, and also the great definition. I was amazed about the muscular definition and the details, and I could imagine. I'm a graphic artist, and I sculpt, and I've done a lot of things. You know, I'm an artist. I'm an art guy, so I'm thinking to myself, I could imagine what's gonna happen at the end with this, and Rashad hasn't disappointed. I mean, you could tell he's a talented guy, but I'm the kind of guy that I love when somebody takes their dreams and makes it come true. You know, without giving up. And for you, what is the satisfaction of all this? Is it a motivation to say, look, I created a Godzilla movie, or is it just a way of saying, you know, giving back to those that love these types of film?
It's a bit of both. I've always wanted to make a Godzilla film, so this is very much a passion project for me, and it's a passion project for Tim and Rashad. And Chris, we've all wanted to make a Godzilla film. Chris did make his own Godzilla film. Mm-hmm. And just the amount of support from our fans has just been, you know, I didn't expect us to get the kind of reception we did. And people such as yourself and everybody else who's spreading the word about Heritage out there, we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. And the film's just getting bigger and bigger every day, and it's getting more attention. And you have people from all over the world liking this project you're working on. So it is a passion project. At the very same time, you know, we want to make a great product for you guys. We want to make a great film that you guys can be entertained by, because you're fans too. So it's for us and it's for you guys.
Now, what level, you know, you can boast if you want, what level of quality are we getting? What is the goal? What is the level? What, you know, this is going to be, are we going to get the romp, bash, battle that people want to see of Godzilla and Another Monster, and the fun and the excitement that you're going to say, that your inner child is going to say, man, you know, I feel like I'm living my childhood again? Is that what we're going to get?
Well, you won't see anything too over the top as far as the fights are concerned. No tail sliding or anything like that, or dancing or anything. But I think fans will really appreciate. I think fans will really appreciate the sort of battles and what's going to be happening in this film. I think there's one scene in the film that I can't really talk to you guys about, but I think when the fans see that moment, they're gonna. I think that's really gonna draw them into the story if they haven't been already, and I think they're gonna be like, wow, this is fantastic, and it's not gonna be very cartoony or anything like that. It's gonna be pretty brutal monster on monster action. So I hope that people can enjoy the sort of fights that we're gonna have in the film.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna take it on another level a little bit in terms of the battle. You know, are we gonna see a little bit of blood flying somewhere?
Oh yes, for sure.
Oh, also, all right. I'm starting to like this film already.
It's not going to be very sanitized. There's going to be quite a bit of monster violence in this film. It's going to be pretty brutal. So,
do you have an idea of the time frame where you're going to release it, and could you tell us how and when it happens, how this is going to happen, the release of the film?
Well, like I said, we're shooting for a debut at hopefully by G-Fest in 2015. Mm-hmm. Being that this is a fan project and everybody, for the most part, is just volunteering their time, we are expecting that there could be hiccups here and there, and it might be delayed a bit longer than that, but we're hoping that we can get it by that goal in that time frame. After it's released at G-Fest, we are going to be releasing Blu-rays and stuff like that. We're going to be doing a small fundraiser here in the next couple of months to hopefully raise some more funds so we can increase our production value. And people who donate to that can get things like posters and they'll reserve their Blu-ray copy. Or DVD of their choice, depends on what it is. But, there will also be other prizes, depending on how much you donate. There'll be posters and t-shirts, and Rashad is going to do some maquettes, the monsters and things like that. And at next year's G-Fest, 2 of the suits that will be used in the film, we're going to do a raffle for those. So if people want to donate next year, or this upcoming year at G-Fest, they'll have a chance to win one of the suits from the movie.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody could win a Godzilla suit or an Anguirus suit.
Yeah, one of them. I won't say too much, but or what suits they are. But
it could be one or the other. You don't know yet. You can't tell us.
I can't tell. Well, I know, but I can't tell.
Oh, all right. Well, it's cool. I'll take either one. I mean, that'd be awesome. Rashad, if it's Rashad made, it's gonna be, incredible. And also the designer guys. I mean, the design, the conceptual designs. Some of these guys are even. I think they haven't even finished their schooling yet, right? Correct.
The guy Eldon Ardiente, who is a graphic designer in Australia. I was recommended to him. He was recommended to me, I should say, by Matt Frank. Matt had done some work for me in the past, and his career was picking up with IDW and things like that, so he wasn't available to do the monster concepts when I approached him, and he suggested Eldon to me. And I have to thank him for that, because Eldon is fantastic. He's the guy who, designed Godzilla alongside me, and he designed the Anguirus and several other monsters that you're going to see when the Heritage Files are released. So we work pretty closely to one another, designing the creatures, and he was just probably every time I would get an email from him, it's just mind blowing, because the guy is so talented, and he really took our vision as for what the monsters, if we wanted them to look like, and he really just translated it into these 3D images and these illustrations that you see, more than we could ever hope for. It's just, he's such a talented guy, and we can't thank him enough for all the work he's done for us.
So did I hear correct? There's going to be other monsters in your film besides Anguirus and Godzilla.
Yep, there will be. Like I said, there's other monsters out there besides Godzilla and Anguirus, and you'll see the film.
We're going to expect to see a couple of more suits then.
Yep, you'll be seeing some suits, that's for sure.
All right. Well, this is really getting even more exciting. You're one step away from achieving your dream. Beyond that, are there any other plans to create even more films related to either Godzilla or other kaiju monsters?
Well, it's right now most of our energy is focused on Heritage. We have talked around some ideas about where we could go from there, if if that were ever to happen. So there is a loose framework for what we would do in the future if we ever if Heritage ends up being a big success. But for right now, we're kind of just focusing on that. We want to get that done, and we'll see what the future holds if and when Heritage is done.
Is there anything you want to say to the fans in terms of pitch your movie? What do you want them to know that that you want to let them know? Hey, look, follow us, help us out, help us realize this thing, and we're gonna give back to you an amazing film. What do you want to say to them?
What I want to say to them is that this is going to be just a fantastic picture. We've put so much time and effort and money into this film to make the best quality product we could, and we can. And if you like a Godzilla movie that's more serious in tone, if you want good storytelling, if you prefer Godzilla films that shy away from the more campier elements of the series, and you just want a nice down-to-earth Godzilla movie where you're going to experience a lot of drama, a lot of horror on a human level. It really is a storytelling piece. We could have put an emphasis on just monster fights here and there, but I always liked Godzilla movies that told strong human story as well. And if fans enjoy Godzilla movies that tell a story that goes beyond just the monsters, and they like the drama and the horror that the original Godzilla represented, I think they're going to enjoy our film quite a lot.
I only had so many questions ready, so I don't want to go over it, but I really want to thank you guys. Like I said, these guys had put their own money, their own time to create something for the fans because they love doing this. So if you see or hear Godzilla Heritage somewhere, click on there, come to the page, like them, show them some love. These guys are great. He actually took the time to talk to me and do an interview over here. So, any other things you want to say? Any other before we we finish this?
I just want to thank you, Damien, for asking us to come on and talk about the film a little bit. And we appreciate the promotion you've done for the film, and we can't tell you enough what that means to us. So thank you very much for that.
Godzilla Heritage, a lot of great stuff coming down the line from people like that. So I'm real excited. Greg, thanks a lot for taking the time. And I'll talk to you again soon. Hopefully we can get a follow-up when you're a little bit closer to maybe give us a little sneak peek at some of the filming or something.
Oh, no problem. We're working on a lot of stuff, and we'll be releasing more content on the Facebook page soon, so you guys can get more of an insight into sort of the world that's been created since Godzilla's first appearance. And just to the fans, we love you guys, and if you ever want to ask us any questions, we'll try to answer it as best we can. Just shoot us a message on the Heritage page, and we're real happy to have all your support. Thanks.
All right.